All the people with the backwards attitude, pointing fingers, and that's a bad excuse for sitting on your ass when you complain. Stupid things that you don't want to change. You ain't got no time for me, and I ain't got no sympathy for you.
Alright, make this quick little video about the Pacific crossings across the Pacific Ocean. I'm sure everybody has seen these few emergency flights. Here's one. Terrifying moment. Plane makes emergency landing after filling with smoke. Okay, it says Ethan Williams was flying from Hong Kong to Los Angeles when cabin crew told passengers to take their shoes off and put their life jackets on. So he took out his iPhone and captured the fantastic scenes on the Cathay Pacific flight on Wednesday morning. The jet was forced to land at Erickson Air Station, U.S. Air Base in Shemya, Alaska. Okay, here's another one. Woman giving birth on a flight from Taiwan to Los Angeles. They also landed in Alaska. Why would they land in Alaska? You know, that's a straight shot across the Pacific on a regular map. Okay, so I started looking at some of these people sailing across the Pacific. Look here, this is the world record holder for sailing from San Francisco to Tokyo. It looks like it's only been attempted twice. Original record set in 1969 took 39 days. Okay, that record stood until 1992 when Peter Hogg broke it in 34 days, which is still the record to beat. Now it should not take 34 days. Now this is supposed to be, I think it said 5,400 miles is the route they take. They went a little bit south. It says the shortest distance, the Great Circle Route, is 4,500 miles, but that would take me north. And so he went down, passing close to Hawaii, at 5,700 miles is what he's saying. So for 5,700 miles, you divide that by 30, what did I say? Yeah, 34 days. That's 167 miles a day. You divide that by 24 hours. You're getting 7 miles an hour is all he's able to do in this boat. Now this is the ones they race today. They're very similar to this that they're setting these records with. He would have to be doing better than 7 miles an hour. If you look, find it here. This is the new world record for sailing around the world in 42 days. He was averaging 31 miles an hour and did over 27,800 nautical miles. Okay. So if you go to 27,000 nautical miles is 32,059 statute miles or land miles. So if he did 32,000 miles in, let's say 43 days. Let's go 32,000 divided by 43 days. He's averaging 744 miles a day. Could that be right? It would have to be, right? 744 miles a day. You divide that by 24 hours. Yep, you come up with an average speed of 31 miles an hour, which it says right here. He reportedly averaged 31 miles an hour. Okay, so if you could average 31 miles an hour for, let's say 5,400 miles, let's see, 5,400 divided by, let's just say 30 miles an hour. What did I just do? To be 180 hours, right? Divided by 24. You should be able to make that in 7.5 days, if I'm doing this right. So, wait, could that be right? Yeah. 7.5 days, he should be able to make it from California to Japan, which would shatter the current record of 34 days. Okay, and you can also look up, oh crap, I just exited out, some of these cruise lines. Now if you look at this ports.com and try to map out a route from San Francisco to Japan, it shows you going this way, 19,000 miles. You know, I think there's a now if you look at this where it says you can pick a sea route, go from California to Hawaii up to Tokyo, it says it'll take you 11.5 days at 20 knots. Okay, so this record should be so easy to shatter, but why is nobody doing it? No team, all the circumnavigation, if they start here, they all go this way. Now they have to go around South America and around Africa and around here and come back up. None of them go this direction. None of them go this way. There's a reason for that, I believe. Like I said, you can look up cruises. Here's a cruise from Los Angeles to Tokyo. 60-day cruises. $7,400. They all go up this way for some reason. And then when they come back, they come across here, but 60 days. And you tell me they couldn't make it quicker than that? I mean, you can look up these cruises. They do not offer a cruise, a short cruise from California to Japan. And that is I mean, this is all out here online. This is just another nail in the coffin. So if the flat Earth map is correct, and everything has to go past Alaska from California to Japan. Okay, normally they probably fly out here around the circle, so nobody will get suspicious, whatever. But all the emergency landings go to Alaska. All cruises go through Alaska from LA to Japan. I mean, just another proof right here. Now, if anybody can find any other people that have sailed these routes, but there's a reason they hadn't done this since 1992. You know, back then, and then it says, nobody followed him. He had no kind of equipment tracking him. It says, there is no longer an organized trans-Pacific race to Japan. So I set up my own record attempt with an official timekeeper designated by the World Sailing Speed Council that certifies world records on the Golden Gate Bridge to take the starting time, and another timekeeper at the finish line in Japan. So nobody was watching him. No teams have ever done this that I can find. The only people who have ever done it have done it solo, and they haven't been tracked. So I don't think this route exists. They should be able to do that way faster. It should not take 34 days, but if you take his 34 days and say he averaged 20 knots, you can read a thing on here. They say a cruise ship can average 20 knots. This would have to average 20 knots at least. Nautical miles. Okay, 20 knots would be 23 miles an hour. So if you go 23 miles an hour times 24 hours, you get 552 miles per day times, how would I say you did it? Oh, here we go, times 34 days. We've traveled 18,000 miles. All right, this is just another huge nail in the coffin. There's, these people that do these records, they live to break these records. Why would nobody have tried this yet? Now here's a world race where they start here in France or somewhere. They go out and they go this way. They always go this way. I said any race you see, if they leave from California, they come down, they go around this way. And guess what? This is from NASA. All this information about these races is coming from NASA. Wow, this is huge. I mean, I don't know if anybody else has looked into this, but it's all right here. I mean, you don't think this guy would love to just shatter a record from California to Japan? I think if they tried it now and they had people following them, they know that it would take way longer than it's supposed to, and that would tip everybody off. That's why they don't do it. Let me know what you think about this, but and if anybody's got any other kind of information, that'd be great. But these Trans-Pacific yacht races, they're racing from LA to Hawaii. Now why wouldn't they just keep going on past Hawaii and try to make it to Japan? I mean, they're going from California to Hawaii in 5 days. And that's 2,500 miles, so that's about half the distance that it's supposed to be to Japan. So, I mean, they could shatter that world record easily. Why don't they do it? Just another question that I don't think they can answer. I think this is the reason. There's no way they can. I mean, Hawaii's out here, I'm guessing. But Japan would be much further on a flat map. Alright, like I said, y'all look into this, research it. If you could actually make this route, you should be able to do it in 11 and a half days. Not even racing, doing it 20 knots. I said a cruise ship cruises at 20 knots. How big a cruise ship is? It's supposed to be able to do that in 11 and a half days. They can't do it in a racing boat. I mean, I'm sure it's a sailboat, but some of those sailboats can average 90 miles an hour. They should be able to smoke it across there. Alright, that's all I got for this one.